The capture and consolidation of towns by Osman Ghazi and his followers marked a transformative period in the emergence of a settled Ottoman state. What had once been a mobile, frontier based tribe gradually evolved into a structured polity, anchored by permanent settlements that served as centers of administration, military organization, and economic activity. This process of urbanization and institutional development laid the foundations for a new political entity capable of sustaining growth, defending territory, and integrating diverse communities. As the Kai tribe expanded its influence through military campaigns, the acquisition of fortified towns became a strategic priority. Each newly captured settlement offered more than a defensive advantage. It provided a base from which to project authority, organize resources, and accommodate an increasingly diverse population. Warriors and their families settled within these towns, establishing households, cultivating land, and contributing to the stability of the emerging state. The transformation from a nomadic to a semi sedentary society required careful planning and governance. Osman and his advisors implemented administrative structures to manage taxation, justice, and local defense. Towns were organized to facilitate communication and coordination between military garrisons and civilian populations. Appointed officials oversaw daily operations, ensuring that resources were effectively distributed and that security was maintained. These measures strengthened the cohesion of the growing state. Economic development followed naturally from the establishment of permanent settlements. Markets reopened or expanded in captured towns, attracting merchants, artisans, and farmers. Trade networks extended beyond the frontier, connecting towns to regional centers of commerce. Revenue from trade and taxation supported further military campaigns, reinforcing the connection between economic strength and political power. The stability provided by urban settlement encouraged migration, increasing the population available for both labor and defense. Military organization was also enhanced by the emergence of permanent towns. Garrisons could be stationed strategically, supply lines maintained efficiently, and training conducted on a more consistent basis. Towns served as hubs from which expeditions into surrounding territories could be launched, providing both logistical support and strategic oversight. This allowed Osman's forces to transition from ad hoc raids to sustained campaigns of expansion. Social structures adapted alongside these changes. Families settled in towns alongside warriors, creating communities that integrated multiple roles: agricultural production, trade, and military service. Religious institutions played a central role in fostering social cohesion, offering guidance and serving as centers for communal activities. Shared practices and rituals reinforced loyalty to the emerging leadership and helped integrate newly acquired populations. Political legitimacy was reinforced through visible displays of order and stability within settlements. Roads were maintained, fortifications repaired, and marketplaces organized. These efforts signaled that Osman's authority extended beyond mere military conquest to encompass governance and civic responsibility. Settlements became symbols of permanence, demonstrating that the tribe was evolving into a state capable of sustained administration. The growth of a capital town emerged as a particularly significant milestone. A central hub facilitated communication across the expanding territory, allowing Osman to coordinate military, economic, and administrative activities effectively. The capital served as a model for other towns, showcasing governance practices, infrastructure, and defense strategies. It became a focal point for political authority and cultural development, attracting skilled administrators, artisans, and religious scholars. Cultural life in these settlements flourished as populations stabilized. Artisans produced goods that reflected both local traditions and influences from neighboring regions. Educational and religious institutions promoted literacy, knowledge, and shared values. The development of permanent communities encouraged intergenerational continuity, embedding social norms and leadership practices that would persist beyond Osman's lifetime. Integration of diverse populations required pragmatic policies. Osman balanced the needs of incoming settlers with those of existing inhabitants, promoting cooperation and minimizing conflict. Agreements with local communities often included protection in exchange for loyalty and tribute. These arrangements reduced resistance and facilitated smoother administration across newly acquired towns. The emergence of permanent settlements transformed the military strategy of the growing state. Rather than relying solely on rapid, mobile raids, Osman could now leverage a network of fortified towns for defense and as bases for further expansion. This structural shift increased resilience against external threats while enabling more coordinated and sustained campaigns into surrounding territories. Economic stability underpinned social and military success. Agricultural production supported population growth, while trade revenue funded administrative and military initiatives. Settlements became nodes of interaction where goods, information, and cultural practices converged. The integration of economic, military, and social functions demonstrated the interconnected nature of state building. The consolidation of captured towns into permanent settlements also enhanced Osman's ability to project authority symbolically and practically. Fortifications, administrative buildings, and marketplaces provided visible evidence of governance. The presence of structured institutions reinforced social order and encouraged loyalty among both original inhabitants and new settlers. Over time, the Kaya tribe's transformation from a mobile, loosely organized group into a structured state became increasingly evident. Governance systems, military organization, economic networks, and cultural life all reflected the deliberate construction of a lasting political entity. The establishment of towns as permanent settlements marked a turning point in this evolution, signaling the emergence of a state capable of sustaining itself, expanding influence, and integrating diverse populations. The significance of this process extended beyond immediate territorial gains. By creating permanent centers of governance and community, Osman set patterns that would influence subsequent expansion and administration. The early development of a capital town and network of settlements provided a framework for political cohesion, military efficiency, and economic resilience that would support the growth of the Ottoman Empire in the decades to follow. Ultimately, the transformation of captured towns into permanent settlements represented more than a shift in lifestyle. It signaled the birth of a structured state. Through careful integration of military, economic, and social functions, Osman Ghazi and the Kai tribe transitioned from frontier warriors into rulers of an emerging polity. The evolution of these settlements laid the foundation for sustained growth, territorial consolidation, and the eventual emergence of one of history's most enduring empires.